Hi, Sai, Gusuyo, Chuganabira, everyone. Hi, Courtney.
Aloha. Hi, John.
You were here broadcasting live from YPO on Oahu. And tonight, unfortunately, Lynn can't join us tonight. She's busy working. So many of our volunteers are and have their real jobs, So unfortunately, you have me tonight, but I'm going to have a lot of fun as usual. And our special host tonight, we bring back Courtney Takara. Yeah, Courtney.
Aloha. Hi, everyone. Hi, John. I see all of our regulars in the house tuning in. We have Linda, Janine. Thank you guys, all our diehard fans, for joining us every week on Yuntaku. Super excited to be on the show again. And yes, I'm definitely not a replacement for Lynn, but I'm super excited about tonight's guest. So I'm glad I can be part of the show.
And for those of you that don't know, Courtney's running around doing about 5,000 projects, and 4,999 of those are HUA projects. And so, I want her to start off by talking about some of those projects. HUA, we got our Purple Blast out today, so make sure you look for that if you didn't already. And then, of course, I want Courtney to talk about Purple Friday because that's finally upon us. That's this week already.
Next week, next week.
Oh, I mean next week. See, I'm really excited. Okay.
You
I
are, yes.
Yeah.
John is really excited about it. So you folks are familiar with our virtual marketplace that we launched during the festival, and so we're just gonna continue the hype, and we're bringing you Purple Friday next week, Friday, October 30th. I believe 8 a.m. We are going to 8 a.m. Hawaii time. So set your alarms. We are going to launch a whole bunch of new product. It's super exciting. We have some stuff from our Monday crafters. They have more masks, of course. That's always been popular, but some
Yes.
other craft items that they're going to be sharing. And then we also have some products that we're going to tie into the Uchinanchu no Hi program that's coming up next week too. And I think it'll just make everyone super excited, and just, we can't go to Okinawa right now, but this is the next best thing. And then we also have some books and that books and all kinds of stuff that we've had in our collection at our gift shop that we're going to start putting and making available online, because we know, unfortunately, HOC is closed right now, so you can't come here in person, but we'll bring the merchandise to you.
And you mentioned Okinawa, and I see Dennis is watching, a good friend of HUA. He helps us with a lot of our tours and coordinating on the Okinawan side. I saw today that Okinawa is kind of hanging around 21 cases of COVID. They were doing so well, but at least they're still keeping it low. Hawaii, I think we're in the 60s, but we are going to tier two. So, of course, everyone in our community and all our friends are saying, yeah, but we want to go to Okinawa. When can we go to Okinawa? Okay. Oh, anyway. Hopefully that day comes really soon. And again, speaking of Okinawa, there is today, October 20th. Of course, it's 21 in Okinawa, but 20th is Kurochi no Mori, meaning the ebony tree forest. Okay, Kurochi no Mori Day is October 20th. 12 years ago, they celebrated the opening of this forest that's right below Zakimi Castle. So if you ever go to Yomitan, go visit Zakimi Castle and look for the grove of ebony trees. This is a project that was started by Daiichi Hirata and many friends, and they're looking for constant, help and monies to keep this forest growing, because these trees are what are the true treasures of Okinawa. They make you have to wait 100 years for these trees to mature before you can use them to make sanshin. And so, of course, I donated monies to get a whole bunch of them. I hope to go back in about a little less than 100 years to visit my full-grown trees, and and say I want my sanshin made from that tree right there. So if you go there, you'll see a plaque that has my name on it. And so if you donate funds to the Kurochi no Mori project, they'll actually put plaques near the grove of trees that you've helped promote and start another grove. They hope to have all these different groves of Kurochi no Mori. I wish I had pictures for you, but go online to Facebook and see if you can find Kurochi no Mori, and please support.
Yeah, that's an awesome project. And I know the last time Daiichi Hirata came to Hawaii, a lot of our Hawaii supporters helped out and donated, and Sherry Tamashiro kind of coordinated that effort to help take some monies back to them. But you can even help them plant the trees and take care of the grove. So it's a really worthwhile project. And, we can't be in Okinawa yet, but the next best thing is to stay in contact on what's going on in Okinawa through Facebook and social media, as well as watching Yuntaku Live. So thank you guys all for watching tonight. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's that little button right there in the bottom right corner, I believe. Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. Send us your comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We love to see that we have a fan base all over the world, not just Hawaii. So let us know where you're coming in from. And then also, this show and all of our programs for HUA wouldn't be possible without the generous support from donors like you. So we just want to thank all of our donors who have been helping to support HUA, especially during these trying times. And so, if you feel compelled, if you're in a position to do so, you can go to HUA.org and click on our red donate button, and you can send in a donation through PayPal. If you're not comfortable doing the online donation, then feel free to go ahead and write a check to HUA and mail it to the office, and our staff will take care of that as well. But we just really want to thank all of our supporters and donors who have really helped us through these, especially these past few months during COVID. So thank you very much.
And I know people always hear me giving this message that, we have the beautiful center here in Waipio, and we put on great festivals, the Okinawan festivals. And, we had our Virtual Okinawan Festival, and now we have Yuntaku Live. Everybody's like, wow, they must be doing really well. But it's actually on the backs and the hearts of all our volunteers that we're able to pull all these projects off and even keep our Okinawan Center looking beautiful. It's all volunteers. And we're struggling with the rest of Hawaii, with the rest of the world, with respect to finances. And every cent and dollar that you're able to donate to us is very appreciated. So again, ipe nihe debiru for those that have been able to share with us. And again, we can't do it without you.
Yes, thank you so much. So yeah, you can see on the screen, click on that red donate button at HUA.org, and we just really appreciate anything that you are able to give. So John, tonight's show, I'm super excited. So I know last week when I watched Lynn, she was a total fangirl with Alberto Shioma, and I was really excited watching the show. But I kind of feel like what Lynn felt like last week, because tonight's guest, I feel like I'm a total fangirl. I've been watching him perform. From his early years before he went solo. I have CDs. I've gone to Blue Note to watch him play. So I'm super excited.
I know you're having a great week, Courtney. First the Dodgers win the NLCS, and then now you get to have your favorite, local idol on Yuntaku Live 26. And so, all of you know him, but do you really? So, let's bring on our special guest star tonight, Jake Shimabukuro.
Aloha, what's up, John? Hey, Courtney, how's it going?
Hey.
Hi, Sai, Mensore.
I want to clarify one thing, though. Do you pronounce your name Shimabukuro or Shimabukuro? I'm not sure.
I like the second one. The second one has a good ring to it.
Oh,
I used to make
have
fun. I used to make fun of, because I guess Shimabukuro is an island bag, right? So when I used to talk to kids before, and they said, "What?" And they couldn't pronounce my last name. When I would travel, right? I would tell them, just remember, in Japanese, Shima means island, so I'm from an island, but Bukuro means bag, so you can call me Island Bag. Just call it Jake Island Bag, And I'll know what you mean. I don't know what buckaroo means though. Shimabukuro. I like the sound of that, but I don't know what that one means.
Well, it's really what you put in that bag that's so important. And tonight we're gonna really dig into that bag and find out a lot more about you.
All right. Okay. Sounds good. Well, I'm
Yes,
honored
actually.
to be here. So thank you.
Oh no, thank you, Jake. We're so honored that you could take some time out of your schedule. I know touring is canceled right now, it's on hold, but you're still super busy. Like every week, you're doing different live shows, streaming, helping organizations, not just like HUOA, but others with performances, and you have your online concerts. I mean, you're still doing quite a bit of performing just from home, right?
Yeah, it's been a big change, of course, but just trying to embrace everything and everyone, I think every family, every community has its own unique set of challenges, as we all know. I mean, so it's just trying to stay positive, trying to put more joy and good energy, into the community and into our world. And for me, music is a wonderful way, that I feel like I can contribute something. It's something that I'm passionate about, something that I love, and if it can help someone or make someone smile, then yeah, that's all I want to do, So thank you.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do that tonight. I think you're going to bring a lot of joy into all of our viewers' homes. I already see a lot of comments through coming in, people saying hi, Jake, sending their aloha.
Oh, thank
I
you.
I think what our viewers, maybe not everyone knows this, but you actually have Okinawan roots, right?
Yeah, so I'm half Okinawan actually. So my dad's side of the family, is from Okinawa, and I love it. I mean, I started my first visit to Okinawa was probably about 15 years ago, and I just fell in love with it. I was going to Japan a lot, but as you guys know, Okinawa is just a completely different experience, and I fell in love with the food, the people, just just everything about it. I mean, hearing you guys talk a little bit earlier about, we can't go there right now. I know I'm missing it so much because I was supposed to be back there, earlier this year, and obviously everything had to get put on hold. But I love it. I mean, I'm so thankful that I've always been surrounded by people who have encouraged me to really to try to search for a deeper connection, with my Okinawan heritage and my roots. In particular, Auntie Dot, Dorothy Ho, her and my Uncle Ivan. They've always been that. They've always been kind of my. They've always been so encouraging, my Auntie Dot, and I mentioned this at the festival, but she would always make for me these cassette tapes of Okinawan songs, and she would say, "Hey, Jake, listen to this. You better learn these songs, you Okinawan, Uchinanchu." So, yeah, but
Sounds totally like her.
is that a good?
Yeah,
was that a good impersonation of her?
Everyone that knows Auntie Dot is over there like nodding their heads in agreement with you right now.
Yeah. She was, she really, and she still does. I mean, she always looks out for me and my family. She always thinks about now my kids. I'm a dad now, so I have kids, and she's always doing stuff for for my kids, and so I hope to instill that in my children too. I want them to learn, about their Okinawan heritage, and one day take them to Okinawa so they can experience that. And we just went to Japan for the first time. Well, actually, was it? Oh, last year. Wow, last year it just went by so fast. But and they loved it, So hopefully one of these days I can take them to Okinawa and they can see, that side.
Local Okinawans, or even local people are always like, "Hey, what high school you went? What do you?"
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so the local Okinawans are always, I'm sure you've already been hit with it. It's like, wait, where are you from? It's not enough to say Okinawa. But you have an interesting story about. I mean, you weren't able to find the roots exactly, but tell people about what you were able to find out about your great grandfather and.
Yeah, that's one thing that it was a little disappointing. We tried to trace back, my family roots, and it was very difficult. We even tried to make a program out of it with NHK maybe about, I don't know, 15 years ago or something. But it just the hard part is, my grandfather was when he came over to Hawaii with my great grandfather. My great grandfather basically left him with a Shimabukuro family on the Big Island, and then he went back to Okinawa. So my original Okinawan family name wasn't Shimabukuro; it was Hokama. But when he went back, we just lost all that information. We were just never able to figure out.
Oh my
It just
God,
kind of
you
stops there. So it's
you
really
probably don't know how many
sad.
hokamas are all high fiving each other right now.
They're claiming that you're their long lost cousin.
Oh, I just it was really disappointing. I was very excited, about that project, and but I wish we could have learned more. And it's so funny because it was only 2 years ago, right, that I when we were doing some research for the legacy banquet, that I found out that I'm actually half Okinawan. My whole life I thought I was just a quarter. My dad thought he was half, but it turns out he's actually, he's 100% Okinawan. And my grandmother on my dad's side, died very early, and so my dad was a baby when she passed away, so he didn't know much about her. And but I can't remember exactly how we figured that out, but somehow we were able to trace back, and we found that, yeah, she was actually from Okinawa as well. So
Well, as you get older and your legs get hairier, I think it'll come to bear.
oh yeah,
Oh,
I know about, right? Yeah, you gotta stay away from Velcro. You don't know. Gotta make sure it's not it's the soft side.
Well, hopefully some things will come out over time, and you'll be able to find more information. But regardless, you're so passionate about your Okinawan culture and your Okinawan roots, and that's, I think, really the most important thing. And we see that come through, and you've been involved in performing at Okinawan festivals and all kinds of things throughout the years. So at the end of the day, maybe you don't know exactly what city, what town, but the main thing is, you take pride in being Uchinanchu.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I'm always and I'm always so I want to learn more. I'm constantly especially when I'm there, I always try to ask questions, and just want to learn more about the food and the culture and the history. It's a lot to take in, but it's you spend your whole life, right, kind of learning and growing and feeling more connected. Things kind of start to make sense, a little bit more. And yeah, because I love Okinawan food. Like, oh my goodness, yeah. And when I was a kid, I didn't even know, like, when I was really young, like the first time I had soki soba, I didn't know that was an Okinawan thing, but that was like my favorite. That, and my first visit to Okinawa, that was the first time I had umiburo, and I just, oh man, that was something else. I fell in love with that. Goya champuru took me a little bit of time to get used to it, but then I found out that depending on what part of Okinawa, where you are, it's different. Yeah, tastes different. So yeah, don't want the spam though. Whew, that's a winner. That might be more of a Hawaii thing though. I don't know.
Oh, you're making me hungry.
Funny is not. It's not. Spam
Oh yeah,
is very
that's
popular in Okinawa.
So it
So,
did
you know-
start there with the spam. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
It kind of reminded me like the
Tamago and all.
yeah, oh, that's yeah. But I remember the first time yeah, when I was there and I had Goya juice. I never had Goya juice before, but we went to this Okinawa restaurant and they said, "Oh yeah, they're famous for their Goya juice. They make fresh Goya juice." I was like, "Really?" So I thought maybe they would sweeten it up a little bit, right? Or add sugar or something, but no, it's just like it's just Goya juice, man. And it's bitter.
Did you feel stronger after though? Healthier?
Yeah, I felt something. I felt something different. I never had something so bitter. I was like, whoa. And they don't give you a small glass, they give you like a full glass. But everyone was drinking it. I thought they were playing a joke on me at first. I thought, let me taste yours because I don't think yours tastes like mine. Oh, but that was yeah. I have so many fond memories, of Okinawa. Just, I mean, and a lot of it revolves around food and stuff. But it's just the people, yeah. The relationships and the way that yeah, just their perspective and the way they think about life and it's very different feeling and approach, I think. Yeah.
And everything happens for a reason. At least I believe everything happens for a reason. So you may have only started your journey, now or very recently.
Yeah.
And even being on Yuntaku Live, you don't know where this may take you in terms of people watching and going, Hokama. Okay, now we know how to solve this puzzle. But I'm sure the one thing they're really tuned in is they want to hear your music. So
Oh,
I'm sure you have a special first song picked out for us.
yeah, sure. Oh, let's see. Okay. Now it's been a long time since I've played this piece, but this was one of the songs that my auntie Dot, I remember she gave me this this cassette tape, and this was the first song on it, and she told me I better learn this song. And then my mom actually learned the lyrics, and we performed it at the Okinawan Festival the following year. But it's a song called Basho Fu. All right, let me this here. Let's see. Okay, Auntie Dot, this is for you.
Oh my God, Auntie, that song, Auntie Dot would be so proud and so happy.
Oh no, no.
That's
If
amazing.
if she was listening though, she would scold me because I played the first verse wrong in the middle. But that's okay. I recovered. Auntie, I recovered, okay? I just yeah.
If you didn't say anything, we wouldn't have known.
Hey, but my auntie, she she has such a great ear for music. And that's something I always admired and respected about her, like when she would talk to me about certain singers or certain versions of songs, right? So if you talk about a song, she would tell you, "Oh, you got to listen to this version, because the way the way she sings it, the feeling she would express to me, just the meaning behind the songs." And so yeah, I just always she's just always so passionate, about everything she talks about, everything she does, and it's always from the heart. And sometimes it's kind of harsh, but it's from the heart. And
Sometimes.
she's not gonna sugarcoat. She doesn't sugarcoat anything, but that's why I love her and her family. They did so much for our family, helped us out so much, and even her son, my uncle Yaifin, helped us out so much, when we were growing up, and really took care of us. So, yeah, because the way that I know Auntie Dot is her son, my uncle Yaifin, and my dad were good friends because they grew up together. Yeah, so that was the connection. That was the connection there.
I see. I think that's the first time I heard the story of how you and Auntie Dot, your families know each other. Because I know you always talk about Auntie Dot. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, yeah, she was one of those that really made a big impact in my life. Yeah. And so, yeah. Thanks, Auntie Dot, if you're out there listening. Thank you. I don't know. She get hard time with the computer though, so I don't know. She may not be logged on right now, but we'll see.
Gotta send someone over to show her the replay later.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, actually, speaking of your early years, maybe you want to share with us kind of just how you got started. I mean, you're an amazing ukulele player. It's like one person, one instrument, but it sounds like a whole orchestration going on. That didn't happen overnight.
Oh no, well, thank you. Thanks, Courtney. I started playing when I was 4 years old, and I got into it. I was very fortunate because my mom played. So my mom played the ukulele, and so when I was a kid, I remember her playing, and I was so interested in it. And finally, when I was about 4 years old, she sat me down, and I remember her taking it down from the shelf, and she had a kamaka, one of those standard size kamakas. And back then it was like, I mean, even now, especially, like, kamakas are so expensive, right? You're not gonna let your kids touch it, right? Back then it was like, no, you don't touch this one. But she sat me down, she put it in my hands and taught me my first chord. And I just remember sitting there just strumming the strings, and I don't know, something happened. It was just because I still remember. I mean, we were living in this small little apartment on Lawiki Street, by Alawai School. That's where I went to school. And I was sitting in the middle of the living room, and she brought it down, and I just started strumming it. And I don't know, it just triggered something. I just loved it. I fell in love with it. I couldn't put it down. I just played it all the time. Then, she taught me more chords. And the first song she taught me was, remember that song, USED? It goes like, goes like, USED soccer's every day, 50 cents an hour, $4 a day. USED soccer's every day, they make you whistle for your money. So that's the first song she taught me. And then she was like, she used to encourage me to have fun with it, write my own songs and lyrics and stuff. So when I was a kid, one of my heroes was Bruce Lee, right? I love Bruce Lee. And so a lot of people, I don't know if they know this story, but my younger brother, Bruce, I named him Bruce because of Bruce Lee.
Oh,
Oh my
And
gosh.
and I wanted to name him Bruce Lee Shimabukuro. but well, my mom said, "Ah, just Bruce, just Bruce." So, but yeah, so I was so into Bruce Lee, and so when I was about, I must have been like 6 years old, maybe. I was trying to write a song, to that USED, the USED chords. So I came up with this song. It's uh, wait now. So it went something like this. I had a dream I was a kung fu star. I had so much muscles you could see them from far. The ladies all went crazy when I walked by, but I punch them in the stomach and kick them in the eye. It's like, it's not a nice song. I was only 6 years old, okay, but but it was just all in fun. You couldn't get away with singing a song like that anymore, but that was, that's how my mom taught me, and she just made it fun, and there was always music playing in the house, and then they had this really this a huge vinyl collection, my parents, so there was always music playing. And it's funny, like I tell this story because I could always tell what was going to happen when I came home from school, and depending on what record was playing, was
what
kind of the
mood was in the
indicator.
house?
Like
Okay.
for example, one example, right? If I came home and I heard Olivia Newton-John, "Physical," let's get physical, I knew she was going to be cleaning the house all day. That that was like her house cleaning anthem, that album. I still remember that album cover because I would see it up and I could hear the vacuum cleaner going. So that was kind of that was so music was always playing in the house, and then when I was about 6 or 7 years old, that's when my mom, she was friends with Roy Sakuma. So she sent me to Roy Sakuma's school, and that's when my first teacher there was Tammy Akiyama. She was a Kaimuki High School grad, where I went to Kaimuki. I went to where I went to high school, and but yeah, she just made playing the ukulele so much fun and really inspired me to want to keep learning and growing. So yeah, so I think I don't know. That was, but I don't know. I'm so grateful because I don't know what I would, I don't know what I would be doing today. My life would be so different if I weren't playing the ukulele. It brings me so much joy, and it's something that, I don't know. I always felt driven. I always felt motivated when I had it. I felt like I always had goals and something to strive for. And I think it kind of carried into other avenues, of my life, right? So, yeah. So, Mom, if you're listening, she don't know how to use the computer. So, but thanks for teaching me the ukulele. Wait, I gotta tell you this funny story about my mom. She wouldn't kill me. So one time, like 20 years ago, she wanted to learn how to use the computer. So I told her, "Okay, Mom, yeah, I'll teach you how to use the computer. You can get it so easy." So the first thing, I was trying to teach her how to use the mouse, right? So I said, "Okay, Mom, you put the mouse, you put this on the pad." And I remember I had that game, like the mouse and the cheese, and you gotta go with the mouse and you gotta follow, right? Try to get the cheese. So, so I'm trying to show her, okay, so when you move it this way, see the arrow go that way. I mean, the mouse go that way, and right. So she's trying to do that. And then I got a phone call. So I left the room to take the call. When I came back, my mom, she goes, "Jake, this thing not working." She had the mouse in the air and she tried to make the arrow go up like this. I was like, oh, after I was like, "Oh, Mom, yeah, no worries, no worries. I'll I'll do all your computer stuff for you because
Wow.
that was so funny."
Little did you know, had you taken that and run with it, you would have been ahead of Nintendo.
That's true. It would have been. It's like the Wii.
Yeah, that's right.
That's-
Oh.
Your mom was ahead of her time. That's all it was.
Yeah, she's definitely ahead of her time.
Yeah.
Oh, too funny. Yeah, so
I can't believe you just sang, by the way, on the show. People don't usually get to hear you sing.
I cannot
So
sing.
that's
That's
awesome.
why.
You just sang. You sang twice. That was awesome.
Oh man. I love singing. I just can't sing. I mean, my mom, my mom, she can
Hmm.
sing. My mom, my dad can sing, my brother can sing, my auntie can sing, my grandma could sing, but I don't know. I just didn't get that. I never got the singing gene, I guess, or something. But but I'm getting better at least I can kind of sing in the right key now. Like before when I was younger, I couldn't even find the pitch with my voice. So
Well,
getting
I
better.
don't think Bob Dylan had any issues with that. So I think you can sing too.
Oh no! See, I like Bob Dylan's voice.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh man, too funny. But yeah,
Well,
but that's how I got started.
what's another song about that time? I mean, I love that one that you just played. But what's another song around that time that you think it holds a special memory for you?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, all the classics, right? Like the another one my mom used to. Everybody used to play this one too. You remember this one, right? You don't hear this one anymore, but um,
Mm.
Yellow Bird. I mean, that's like classic. I mean, everybody played that. What was the other one?
Yellow Bird. How come I remember it being Mina Bird? I think
No,
my ukulele class we sang Mina Bird.
you guys sing Mina Bird, really?
I don't remember Yellow
You used to
Bird.
sing Mina Bird up high in banana tree, really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think so. Coconut tree or something. I don't
oh
know.
shucks. No, you thinking of the 12 Days of Christmas, huh?
No, see, in fact, Cheryl Nakamoto just put on her comment, she said, "Is that the Mina Bird song?"
Really?
See?
Wow, Cheryl, was Mina Bird? I thought it was Yellow Bird.
No,
Okay,
no, I think it is
okay.
Yellow Bird,
So somebody
but
gotta look that up.
yeah,
Oh, no, see,
I'm just
Cheryl said, "Oh, wrong bird, wrong bird."
I was taught Mina Bird.
Oh yeah, yeah. Keith, yeah, yeah, I did. My singing debut was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and it was when my first band with Pure Heart, we did a Christmas album, and there was one line that I had to sing, and it was Rudolph with your nose so bright.
Jake, I have that CD at home.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna go home and play it and be like, oh, that's the part that Jake was talking about.
Oh my goodness, no. Once you'll hear it, you'll never be able to get it out of you. You shouldn't listen to it. Oh man.
Wait, did you do any of the voices for when Pure Heart did Mr. Sancho Lee? Or was that
No,
all
that
Lopaka
was
and John?
all Lopaka, man. He was, yeah, that guy is so talented. Oh, yeah. That was that's kind of where my passion for performing kind of came into play when I met John Yamasato and Lopaka Colon, and we formed the band Pure Heart. This was back in when we first started playing together was back in 1996, and John and I met in high school. Lopaka and I met when I was working at the House of Music in the Alamana Shopping Center. And yeah, we started performing, doing birthday parties, graduation parties, and I think that's when I discovered my passion for performing in front of an audience. Just that rush and that adrenaline and the excitement. But yeah, so I just yeah, but Lopaka, he's just so talented. I mean, of course, all the percussion work that he did, and his dad, who was the percussionist for the Martin Denny band, back in the day when, that whole Exotica sound, right? Martin Denny, Arthur Lyman, and all those guys. In fact, yeah, they recorded Yellow Bird. I think that was one of the first times, it made like international charts, right? When they did it. But yeah, I mean, it was just so great playing with them. And then John, he had a lot of different influences from me. He would listen to, listened to a lot of James Taylor and things like that. So he loved a lot of the singer-songwriter stuff. And then of course, we all listened to, Peter Moon Band, Sunday Manoa, Ka'au Crater Boys, Kapena. I mean, those were all the bands that influenced us too. So, but my ukulele hero growing up was always Ota-san. He was the guy who I just I used to listen to all his records. I used to always want to emulate everything he played, but I never could. He was just so good. And I remember as a kid I would listen to him play certain things and think, how is he doing that? But yeah, he's the one who inspired me to really to kind of get out there to play in Japan, because he had a huge career in Japan, right? He was one of the first guys to do that. He played with orchestras and symphonies and played all different styles of music. And so, yeah, he was a huge inspiration for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's important for us to hear about, who inspired you through your music and what has helped you over the years develop your own style.
Yeah.
But so I know we keep talking story and your yellow bird, mine a bird. John's gonna he's gonna find something to prove that he's right. He's probably Googling right now. But while he's doing that,
no. See,
maybe
someone looked it up. Yellow Bird by Arthur Lyman. Yeah. All right.
So-
Kaneshiro-san, thank you. But mine a
John-
bird in a coconut tree. Yeah.
Yeah, John has the local version, but I think a lot of people want to hear another song, maybe.
Oh yeah. Well, Matthew requested Nara Soso. So
Okay, yeah, that's always a fan favorite. Go for it.
all right. Yeah, that was so awesome that you guys had begin this year at the Okinawan Festival. Man, those guys are incredible. And just the nicest people too. Okay, Nara Soso. All right. Oh wait, let me move this a little bit to the side.
Beautiful. You know, you made Matt's day. Matt Tavios performs
Right on,
with
Matt.
our Lion group,
Oh,
and
nice.
he also plays the ukulele, self-taught. So I think you're his idol. So you really made his day tonight.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Thanks, Matthew. Appreciate that, man. Oh, look at that. Linda
Yeah,
has a
that's
story
a
about
that's a
that's the
fan
song.
favorite.
Oh man, that song is so beautiful. Gosh, I just there's just something about that melody. There are certain
Hmm.
songs that just it's just the perfect combination of notes, that just really really get right into your soul and your heart and just tugs at it, man. It's yeah, certain
Yeah, I
songs
mean, it
like that.
was only the melody that, of course, Begin came up with the melody, and Kelly Rochelle asked to borrow that, and yet they wrote two different songs. They didn't know
With
the
that
meaning of
melody.
each other's song,
Mm-hmm.
and both songs came out with a very deep meaning, of loss and memories.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they both explained that to each other, they're amazed that just through the melody, they were able to write songs that were so alike in meaning.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wow. I mean, that's what it is, right? Music is just pure human emotion. So, you hear something and I guess everyone has their own interpretation of it, but I mean, that's why I mean, I honestly feel, I mean, I tell people that music is not just the universal language, but music is the language of the universe. It's
Mm.
something that, it's the language of um of human emotion. It's what it's I heard somebody once say that if you could hear feelings, it would be music, so
Mm.
and it's so true, right? Because I mean, you can take a combination of notes and depending on how you play it, how you express it, how you pluck the strings, the energy that you play with it, you can bring joy, you can help soothe someone who maybe lost a loved one. I mean, there's just so much. It's so powerful, and yeah, and that's why I think, especially right now, we all need more music.
I totally agree. And Jake, I think you're doing just that. And you have been for like a lot of your career. So actually, I know we kind of talked about it when we were getting ready for tonight's show, but you actually got really famous after a YouTube video went viral, right? Of you
Mm,
performing George Harrison's While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
yeah.
And I think that YouTube is so prevalent now. That's really how we're getting into everyone's homes and connecting with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
During COVID. But this was like back in 2006 that this video went viral, and is still, I mean, it's 17 million views. um, and you filmed it in New York, Central
Mm-hmm.
Park. Yeah, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it
But
was
I was
crazy.
hoping
Uh-huh.
if maybe you could play the song.
Yes, I would love to. Um, yeah, and just just a little background about this arrangement. It's funny, because this was back in 2006. I had just at that time, I was touring a lot in Japan and spending a lot of time in Japan. But in 2000, actually it was 2005, I got invited to perform at this festival in New York, and it was my first trip to New York. I played at a club called BB King's, and it's really cool, iconic live house there, and while I was there was a group of guys who had this TV show called Ukulele Disco, because they were big like ukulele fans and in New York, and so when they found out I was coming to New York, they're like, oh, can we interview you, right? So they contacted my manager, Kazusa Flanagan, who was my longtime manager. Um, I don't know if she's listening, but Kazusa, if you're listening, hello. But so they contacted her, and we set up this interview in Central Park. I'd never been to Central Park. I heard of Central Park, right? So growing up in Hawaii, when you think of a park like Petrie Park, you think of Kapolano Park, you think of, like Kapiolani Park is huge, right? Like, cannot be as big as Kapiolani Park. So when he said, "Oh, we'll shoot at in Central Park," I was like, "Okay, shoot, sounds good." And so we went down, and I couldn't believe how huge, how vast this park was. I mean, you could drive. I mean, you would have to get to the other end. You gotta drive. You cannot walk. It was so growing up in Hawaii. It was just my mind was blown, right? But anyways, so to make a long story short, we found this little area. There was it was right next to that strawberry fields thing in Central Park. So at the time, I was working on this George Harrison song because George Harrison loved the ukulele. He even lived on Maui, right? He had a house on Maui, loved the ukulele. It was his favorite instrument. He even recorded some of his records with it. And but I was always a George Harrison fan. And so they asked me a few questions, and they said, "Hey, can you play a song?" So I said, "Okay, sure." So I played the rendition of While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And they were all happy with it. They're like, "Oh, that's awesome." And it aired on TV. And then I came back home, to Hawaii, and I didn't really think much about it. But then a few months later, so this was end of 2005, early 2006, some friends of mine who were living on the mainland, they'd call me up and they're like, "Oh my gosh, everybody's talking about this video of you playing, online." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Because back then you couldn't just email someone a video, right? I mean, that wasn't a common thing. So they said, "Oh, I'm gonna forward you this email and just click on those numbers or whatever." So I clicked on it, and then it popped up. Someone had taken a clip from that TV show, put it on YouTube, and at the time, YouTube was just starting out, so no one knew what that was, right? But yeah, it turned out to be this incredible platform, and just opened up all these doors for me. So yeah, so here's the arrangement I played. It's a little different from the way I used to play it back then, but I'll try to keep it as close as possible. So all right, here we go.
my God. That's so awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Oh,
chicken
thanks.
skin, man.
Oh. Hey, I
Dang.
want to give a shout out to my friend Kelsey. She's I think she's sent a comment. I haven't seen her in ages. Thanks, Kelsey. Um, but anyways, yeah. So that was the arrangement, and yeah, that's really truly the what kind of opened up all these doors. Was from that YouTube video going viral, and after that, I got all these opportunities, to open for bands and to tour with other bands, to record with incredible artists, people that I always admired and looked up to. So yeah, you just never know, right? You never know what performance is gonna just kind of help you
And you've
to.
gotten so many awards. I mean, just countless awards over the years, and recognition. But of course, none other more important than the Hawaii United Okinawan Association Legacy Award.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that
2017.
All
that
Yes.
right, you
was.
remember that, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah, no,
Okay.
it was such an honor, and my auntie Dot was so she was so proud, and I could well, that's yeah, here. So that's my so to my right is my mom, to my left is my grandmother. Uh Over my left shoulder is my dad, and to his left is my brother Bruce from Bruce Lee. And over my right shoulder is my uncle Glenn and my auntie Lindy. So my uncle Glenn is actually my mom's cousin, and but yeah, they were like they were like my second parents, growing up too. So yeah, this was such a for me it was such a special memory too, because my grandmother passed away shortly after that. But yeah, that was an event I'll never forget. And
And you've played with all these bands, right? You said, and all these idols of yours, but I mean, who gets to play with the governor?
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, so this is my mom singing, and my brother Bruce was playing bass. My brother, he can play all kinds of instruments. Of course, his main instrument is the ukulele, but he can play guitar, he can play bass, he can sing. I mean, the guy can, he makes a mean smoked fish. So yeah, the guy, he can do. He's kind of a renaissance man. So yeah, so this was an arrangement we had done. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
The
oh
other
man,
honorees.
I tell you,
Yeah.
I was so nervous, like being up there with these, legends, right? And to just be up there, and not saying that. I mean, because I feel like the reason I was so touched, to be asked was, it was so humbling, because it really inspired me to wanna do more, that's why I think Courtney, right? I think after the event, I came up to you and I said, hey, I want to be more involved. If there's anything that I can do, because I actually felt guilty, in the sense where I kind of felt like for the last several years, I've been traveling so much, and I haven't been around, and I haven't been able to be as active, right, with HUOA events and things like that. So that's why I went up to you and I said, hey, if there's any way that you feel like I can be more involved, if I can volunteer my time, or if there's anything I can do, just to be more connected with the community, to be, to learn more about my roots, my heritage, because, I mean, that's what I want. I know that's what my auntie Dot always wanted for me, to be more involved, to be more proactive. And so for me, even though I was one of the honorees, I didn't feel like an honoree, but for me, it was like a glimpse. It was like a wake up call, like, hey, you got a long ways to go. You see these gentlemen here that are so accomplished, have done so much our community, our state, for the relationships with the leaders that we have in Okinawa. And so it kind of reminded me to it was a nice wake up call to, hey, step up your game, be more active, get more involved, reach out and see what else you can do. And so it was a great experience for me, one that I'll never forget. And moving forward, I definitely want to be more involved. I definitely, I'm glad that you reached out, Courtney. I'm glad that you called me and said, hey, you want to be a part of this? Hey, we have this event coming up. We're doing this because that's what I do. And it's, that's what I want, and it's hard to like call people and be like, hey, can I come crash your event? Or hey, you need me for anything? Or,
Anytime.
you know what I mean?
Anytime, Jake. You can crash
Right?
our events
Oh
anytime.
no. So it's always hard to, I don't want to force myself, anywhere, but yeah, but I definitely, my heart is there, and it's definitely something that that I want it to be a bigger part of my life, so yeah, especially being a dad
You know,
now with kids, so
I I don't think a lot of people, know that you actually had that opportunity to play with the governor. I think we have a clip.
oh yeah,
Oh,
so he's okay, no, play the clip. I want to
Okay,
see, I want to
let's see
see
if we
this.
can pull
I
that
don't think
clip up.
I've never seen this clip.
Oh, really?
I was there, but I've never seen the replay of it.
Okay, let's see if we can get that up.
Okay. Oh, I can't hear
so
you guys. I
sorry.
can't.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I can hear you now. I
Can you
can
hear?
hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Wait.
so
That
sorry
wasn't the
about
right clip, right?
yeah.
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 So that was Legacy. That was Legacy
Mm-hmm.
2017. That was one of your performances that day. But I think you performed a couple of numbers. So we'll have to go back and pull the one of you and the Gov. Hopefully we can find that later, and we'll get that. Yeah, we have it. We have it. It's just unusually. So John, as you know, Legacy honorees usually do not do their own performance
Mm.
because they're being honored. And so someone will usually perform on their behalf. But Jake is such an awesome performer and musician that, not only did he perform for his segment, but he also performed for Governor Ige's segment as
Yeah,
well.
right.
Oh, it was such an honor. Like I'll never forget, because when when we were prepping to do the song, um, you know, um, who called me? Someone called me and oh yeah, and told me that Governor Ige is gonna call me about this arrangement and because we did Over the Rainbow, the Israel Kamaka Vivo Oliver, and I was like, really? Wait, he's gonna call my phone? Really? I was like, okay, all right. And then I remember when I got a text from him, I showed all my friends, hey, look, hey, look, Governor Ige's texting me.
Jake, that's what I do to John. I'm like, oh, look, Jake just texted me.
Yeah.
Look, Jake texted me.
I'm like, hey, I'm important. See.
That's exactly what Courtney said.
Oh man. Oh, but yeah. Oh, we had so much fun, and we actually performed that several times. Because we did it at the Legacy Awards. We also performed it at the when the mayor of Hiroshima came to visit, and they had a banquet, and so we went there, we played, and the consul general of Japan came and played too, so we did a little trio thing. It was awesome. I never thought that I would have these kinds of opportunities. So yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And Governor Ige, if you're listening, anytime you need a backup ukulele player, now you call me, okay? Yeah, I better at least be one of your top 3 calls now.
So you played with the governor here, but who else did you play with in Okinawa?
Oh, in Okinawa, yeah, I had the chance to to work with Begin. Amazing. Natsukawa
Wow.
Rimi, she was amazing. Oh, I was gonna show you this. Yeah, Miyazawa-san from the Boom who wrote Shima Uta. This was we collaborated, and we even wrote this song together too that we recorded. And but yeah, he's amazing. But man, that guy is he's such a Renaissance man. Because look at this. I mean, these are his original paintings. He loves
it's
fishing and things
beautiful.
like that. But look at that. It's amazing. So he gifted these to me when we worked together, and they've always, I've just always kept them. I don't even want to use them. He said, use them, but no, I mean, you can't even use that. I mean, that's like, it's so
nice,
special,
right?
right? Yeah. So, this
And
is
you
I was gonna show you these two.
hey,
Yeah,
very
your
nice.
Shisa friends.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
And no,
Oh
you're
yeah,
holding them
Okay,
correctly.
I'm holding them right now. You know why it's opposite in the camera, in the screen. So
Yeah, no, good job.
But I put these up. I put these up in my son's room because just want him to get familiar. So yeah, so he loves these. So I had to tell him, hey, can I borrow your Shisas for this for my conference? He's like, okay, but just put it back now.
Jake,
So-
you mentioned something really interesting earlier before we went on air, and I want you to explain to people because it was amazing. You talked about the difference between Japanese music and Okinawan music, and I guess it was you went into the details of the
Oh yeah.
pentatonic scales, and it's like, whoa, he's getting real deep. But then when you played it, it was like, wow.
Yeah, makes sense.
thought
Yeah.
maybe
It's,
that's something I want you to explain to everybody.
Yeah, so a few years ago, I was kind of I always like to find different ways to compose and come up with ideas for music. So so there was a modern approach to music theory called set theory, where where it's kind of based on numbers. I mean, you can kind of base it on a clock, but we don't have to get into all that stuff. But the idea is when you think of like the traditional sound or the traditional combination of notes that we hear that sound Japanese to us, or that has that kind of almost like koto like character to it, right? It's these notes. Yeah. So the and if you think about the notes, right? C, D flat, F, G, A flat, C, back to C. So you have 5 different notes, right? C, D flat, F, G, A flat, and then you have a high C on, but it's only 5 different notes. And if you think about the spacing between each note, okay? So if you're on a piano, and if you play C, and then you go up 1 half step, you're at a D flat. Then you go up 4 half steps, that'll take you to an F. And then 2 half steps, G, 1 half step, G sharp. Then 4 half steps again takes you back to C. So you have 1 half step, 4, 2, 1, 4. So that's kind of the formula, right? 1, 4, 2, 1, 4. Now if you reverse that formula, so instead of 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, you go 4, 1, 2, 4, 1. And you start at the same note, C. Then you go up 4, 1, 2, 4, 1. You're doing the exact opposite, right, of what creates that tension for that Japanese scale or whatever you want to call it. But then you get your Okinawan, your Okinawan scale, right? You get that sound that we're right. So to me, it was very interesting because it's like, you have these. Because before I went to Okinawa, I spent a lot of time in Japan. But the first time I went to Okinawa, I was like, whoa, this is completely different, right? This is like a whole different, culture, a whole different place. And I just felt it was so extreme. And so even musically, right, when you think about the music, it's like, it's, just the fact that they are both completely the opposite intervals of each other. They're just, it's like the exact negative of what this is, or the exact positive of whichever way you want to go. So I just thought that was just so interesting, right? So it's, yeah, but I don't know, I don't know if anyone's ever thought of that or not, but
I've never heard that before, and that's why that was just awesome to listen to you explain it and then hear it.
yeah, but it's always that combination of notes to me that really differentiate, right, the two characteristics of the traditional music, Okinawan and Japanese traditional music. So yeah, but I mean, of course, there's so much more to it, right? But that on the surface, that's kind of like one observation that I made a few years ago. So, yeah,
We're pulling out that Okinawan soul in you, just bringing it out, or bringing it.
oh,
Oh well, this has been fun. We want you to end on a song that just leaves us in awe. What have you got for us?
oh, okay. Well, let's see. Well, one of the things I did want to say, I did want to play is I did want to play a Japanese folk tune, and so I don't know though. It's not really not really an Okinawan song, but I just thought it's kind of a neat contrast. So what I'll do is I'll do a medley. I'll do a medley of this piece, and this arrangement was inspired by the koto, and I guess, and the second half of it will be a piece called Ichigo Ichie. It's an original piece that I don't know, I wanted to play it tonight because I feel the meaning of that word is really speaks to what we are all going through right now. Ichigo Ichie, if you're not familiar with that word, it means once in a lifetime, but it has more to do with people coming together and sharing this experience that they recognize will never happen again. So being grateful and just embracing it and finding the you know just finding beauty in that moment. So when I discovered this word, it made me think of touring, because I'm always traveling, and every night, we're in a different city. And a lot of times, we're playing the same songs, or a very similar set night after night. But because of this word, ichigo ichie, this perspective, I never get tired of playing the same songs over and over, because you're not really playing the same song. You're never repeating yourself, because it's always in a different context. It's always with a
Right.
different group of people. It's just like watching that video clip that you showed earlier. When we were gonna try to put from the Legacy Banquet, playing the national anthem, right? Like watching that, it was kind of like, wow, this is really slow, because it's just completely out of context, right?
Different, right.
But the energy of the room during that time, whatever was happening leading up until that performance, and just the vibe and the emotion of everyone, that I felt like that's how it was, that was appropriate, right, for that moment. So playing that song again, like if I were to play it right now, would be completely different, because it's in a different context and with
Right.
different people. So, so just recognizing that, and I don't know, and right now it's tough. Everybody has their own, every family and every individual has their own unique challenges, and you can't just, so it's we just gotta try to stay positive and do the best that we can, right? So this is really a song about embracing the moment, and just being grateful and humble with all that's happening. So okay, so Sakura Sakura first, and then Ichigo Ichie.
Wow. So
Wow,
beautiful.
that was awesome. You know, when I heard Sakura, I felt like I could actually feel in a pedal dropping, you know, or pedals dropping the way you played it. It just was so clear in my mind. It's like the musical version of if my eyes closed of seeing and almost hearing pedals dropping, and then the Ichigo Ichie sounded like a raindrop hitting, you know, a very still pond and the ripples going out.
Mm.
It just
Oh, thank
it
you.
moved me. That's beautiful, very beautiful. And you know, we talked about uh, and you mentioned music being universal, but what's really important in Okinawa is that music being universal, it's a symbol of peace, and it's a way of actually creating and promoting and preserving peace around the world, because like you said, music brings everybody together. And so hearing your music, which is not only universal but just timeless,
Mhm.
you know,
Mm.
it's my Ichigo Ichie. And I hope this doesn't mean that this is the only time, you know, I get to talk to you. Uh, because you know, I don't get a text from Jake Shimabukuro like some people, and they get to, you know, show it to everybody. Look, I got a text from Jake. So, so I
I only
truly
brag to you, John.
No.
so I truly hope this is not my Ichigo Ichie with Jake Shimabukuro, but I that was beautiful, and you know,
Mhm.
yeah, I sorry, I had to share that.
Oh,
But you
thank
know,
you. Thank you, John.
your fangirl, I know, is just falling all over herself hearing you play tonight.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Oh my
thank
gosh, it's
you.
been such an honor to have you performing live and like all these special numbers, you know. Super awesome.
Oh,
But I know you have a lot more things in store, even though it's COVID, you know. You've been keeping active. And so I know you have a concert next week, Saturday, coming up, right?
oh yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and so you know, if for those of us who just really loved your performance tonight and just want to get more, can you tell us a little bit more about the concert?
Yeah, it's the first time I'm trying a real live stream concert, and we partnered with Olelo. You know, they have this amazing new studio called Studio
Mhm.
1122. They got, you know, just incredible lighting. I mean, all state of the art. Their sound and their audio setup is just incredible. So it was so nice you know, to work with them. They're all amazing, and so yeah, just looking forward to having my first, you know, real live stream concert. And I think I was so excited. You know, I was so excited about it because, you know, I have been playing a little bit here and there virtually, but you know, not it's a little different, right? You know, when you're on a stage, and you know, and
Mhm.
I do miss some of that and really interacting, you know, with an audience.
Right.
But you know, but I know one of these days we'll get back to that. But you know, for now, I'm just grateful that we can still connect this way, and you know, virtually online, you know, utilizing technology, I think, for something
Mhm.
positive and for
Yep.
just bringing joy and understanding to people, you know, all over the world. And you know, and so I really appreciate it when people use this powerful platform like this, you know, for good things. And like you said, you know, for promoting promoting, you know, peace and understanding, bringing people together, you know, promoting unity and things like that. You know, it's so important because, you know, we're all going through this together, and there's strength in numbers, you know. So I think we all have to just hold each other's hand and help one another, be there for each other. You know, reach out to anyone that you think may need help, may just need to hear
Mhm.
a kind
Right.
voice on the other side of the phone, or just to know that someone cares. You know, so yeah. So I think we'll okay. I'll stop. But
No, that's
yeah.
awesome. Awesome. I'm super
So
excited.
yeah. So we'll you
Yeah,
know. which is I'll ramble on and on. That's why. So, um,
Well,
but
so
yeah,
we have your website up right now, jakeshimabukuro.com. So people can find out more about the concert on your website next week, Saturday, October 31st. I think it's 2 p.m. Hawaii time. So they can check out your website for more information. But also, like, you have, I mean, there's tons of information and things available on your website, from like purchasing merchandise, CDs, finding out about your tour dates whenever that starts up again, you know. Um,
oh no, thank
yeah.
you. Well, yeah, and everyone listening, I just want to once again remind you all to make sure you log on to HUOA.org, and click that donate button. If you enjoyed the program and what you heard tonight, please donate. You know, I think these are the times where we have to just support each other. So yeah, if you believe in something, show your support. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Jake.
Jake, you really made our episode 26 special. 26 episodes ago, over 26 weeks ago, our goal was to bring music into people's living rooms, and people can't get out. They still can't get out to listen to music and musicians such as yourself. So again, thank you for allowing us to continue our mission during this pandemic and bringing your music into their homes, into their hearts. I think everyone's gonna go to sleep tonight going, "Wow, that was awesome!"
Yeah.
so, so thank you so much.
Yes,
uh,
thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, taking time out of your busy schedule, we really appreciate it. I had a super awesome time. I hope you had fun with John and I on the show.
oh, I really did. I mean, you said it was just gonna be a talk story, and that's really what it was. So, yeah.
So everyone, again, episode 26, Jake Shimabukuro. It'll be on YouTube. If you want to go and watch it about 29 more times tomorrow, you can. It'll
So
be
that I
there.
can practice how to play George Harrison on the ukulele, and maybe I'll get the riff by next week. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Again, so yes, and if you haven't liked us, be sure you do that. And once again, on behalf of HUA and Lynn, who couldn't join us, and TJ, who's in the back there working hard, uh,
yeah.
and Courtney, of course, thank you for co-hosting tonight. Jake, what a
Thanks.
wonderful show. Gambatte,
Oh, thank
chibario,
you.
Yes.
and most importantly, ipe nihe debiru.
Yes, Ipeni
Mm,
Debiru. Thank you so much, Jake. Thank you everyone for joining us
thank
tonight.
you. All right.
Thank you
Take care,
so much.
everyone. Be safe. See you
Aloha.
soon. Aloha.